Hi everyone, it's Kay here. On today to use up some of my paints because I've decided not to pursue the painting thing because I'm not creative and I seem to sort of get a bit of a hiccup when it comes to using paint. But so I'm creating some backgrounds for my junk journals, and I used for this particular background here, I used a stencil, which I can't, or I washed it, that's right. I used a stencil with brown paint, and then I went over it in with ruby acrylic paint and some sky paint from Journal YTubers. So I thought that looked really particularly rust-like. I thought it would make some really great background, and I thought I like the sort of 3D effect for that one. So that's going to try a bit more. And this one I just created a plain blue background using lapis from Journal YTubers, or was it an Anko brand one? No, I think that was that one. So for this one I'm just going to use some, what should I use for this one? Some stencils don't seem to work very well with what's the word I'm looking for, with some paints. So we'll see how we go. I've got some white paint here, not much in there, so I might use this one. Ooh, too much. Actually I might use this stencil. A lot of my stencils come from Uniquely Creative, so we'll just see how. I've got an old book underneath here just to sort of, I don't know why, to give it a bit more protection for my desk, but I don't think I will need it actually because it's buckled from the paint. So just see how we go, because I'm not very artistic, so just going to smoosh my paint around and make it a bit more watery so it spreads a bit further. That's what I did with all, after I learned my lesson, I think, with trying to put it on there straight away. Of course it doesn't, the paint gets absorbed by the watercolour paper really quick. Whoops, oh well. That's an opportunity to, what's the word? Opportunity to do something with that spot in a minute. Just doing random things over here. How are you all today? I hope you're doing well. I didn't actually come out in the pattern that I wanted to, but that's alright. This looks just as effective. I think you can use a dauber. I don't really have any daubers though, so I tried with a sponge before and it didn't seem to sort of work. I know it's probably better with inks, but that's right. Work with what we have. This looks alright. I think it looks sort of quite splotchy and splotchy. Because when I've left, when I was doing card making, I was watching some people do art journaling, like Marta of Maremi Small Art and Niamh Bailey, watching them, and I sort of thought I'd like to give that a go, but after a while then I found collage and I think I preferred the collage better. So I'm going to dry that off and we're back in a minute, okay? Okay, we're back. I've used my heat tool, but I don't think it dried. I didn't do it very long today. Well, I've got this other stencil, so I don't know if this is going to work, and I'm going to use a sponge dauber that I got for inking stuff. So what colour shall I use? Another blue, pink. Oh, let's be outlandish enough pink. Maybe if I didn't ink it down, it might actually work better. See how that goes. Trial and error. I think for the background it definitely needs to be watered down, but oh yeah, that sort of works a little bit. Don't know if you can see that because I might not be able to see it very well. Looks effective. So just do the whole, I don't want the whole lot covered in this pink, but what's degree of it. Looks quite like that. Looks very effective, I think. Let's do it this way. Over here a bit. So yesterday, husband and I went down to the beach. Sort of like 24 degrees Celsius. It's a bit muggy. The breeze was cool. We went down to the beach for a walk, and well, actually we went out for lunch really. Sat outside. Not one thing I'd forgotten that you don't miss when it's wet and cold: flies. I hate flies. When we sat outside, we have a price you pay for sitting outside. It's the joy flies. They're very annoying, but that's just the way it is. In Australia, they call it the Australian salute when you draw forever swashing your face like this all the time. Actually, I think that was a good idea to sort of not smush it down too much, to water it down too much. What other colour? Should I use another pattern? Or should I just leave it like that? What about a blue and a lighter blue? Different stencil. Because I don't have any jelly plates, and I'm not going to do that. Buy a jelly plate, because like I said, I've decided that painting's not my thing. So this is a stencil with letters on it, and yes, we're going to mix colours up because I'm going to do the blue on top of the pink. So anyway, we went out for lunch and went for a walk, for a little bit of a walk, but I must sit differently when I go out for lunch, because whenever I go somewhere for lunch or for coffee or with somebody or whatever, I have a bit of trouble with the left leg, and it the top of the sort of where the bursa is, and always causes me a great deal of pain. So I took some painkillers last night to help it sort of go away. And I felt a bit dead this morning. I'm sure it was because of the painkillers. Well, I'm amazed how effective that looks. Maybe I shouldn't pick up the paint. Keep it for this kind of thing, but I've just requisitioned the drawer that I had the paint in for my something else. I might have to find somewhere else for this, because I quite like that, how that looks actually. Very effective. I'm just going to use the bottom of the stencil here for the letters. And the side here. What do you think? more, less, leave it as is? I think we should leave it as it is. I'm really pleased how that turned out actually. This looks really effective. So that's 2 I've done now. We'll start one more and then we'll call it quits. This one's still a little bit wet, so I'm going to do the same effect as I did with the other one. The first one, I should say. Wash my stencils in a minute. So what colour should I use? I want to use something that sort of makes it sort of like a autumny kind of thing, so I'm going to use the fuchsia. And we're going to do a little different technique this time. Only because we're watching Marta from Maremi Small Arts. When she used to change just to style a little bit, so just need a little bit more water for this one. Trying to sort of make it sort of a bit runny, so it's sort of like runny. It's not very runny, is it? It needs to be a little bit runnier. That's better. Let it follow the path. So it has a sort of the smidgen of the colour in between. And when it dries, I think the fuchsia won't be sort of like staring you in the face. Hopefully that's the effect that's going to happen. Pretty, isn't it? I like that fuchsia. It's pretty, isn't it? So I will put Marta Maremi Small Arts links below, and Niamh Bailey if you want to check out a bit of art journaling. Niamh Bailey lives in Tasmania in Australia, and Marta is Polish, but from Poland, but she lives in Ireland with her family. So I'm just hoping that's going to drip a little bit now, so we're going to do a little bit of dripping, whirling around to see if that makes any difference. Because I haven't used any texture paste or anything like that to create the grooves. I'm just letting it find its own way. I quite like that, but rather than waste any of this other paint, I've got, excuse me a minute, I've got a bit of yellow background here that's not dry yet. We're going to work on that a bit later on when off the camera. I just wanted to share that a little bit with you. I'm going to so it doesn't waste the paint that's on there. Yeah. So it's going to dry now. It'll look really nice, and so that's, I reckon I quite like that. And then when it's dry a bit more, I'll put another layer on top of it. But that's all I wanted to do today, because like I said, I'm not very comfortable doing this kind of thing, and so hopefully that was okay, and hope to see you next time. Thank you very much for joining me today. Bye bye.